That gives me great pleasure to hand you back over, Mr. Keith Young.
Thank you, Mick. Ladies and gentlemen, we're now ready for the second group today, the Hound group of Crufts 2014. Before we see the dogs enter the ring, it's my pleasure to introduce the judge. Today's judge is one of the United Kingdom's most senior judges who's had great success in Rottweilers, Norwegian Bullhounds, Basenjis and Pugs. His opinion is much sought after both at home and many countries abroad, including Scandinavia, Australia, Africa, Japan, New Zealand, but to name a few. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to Mr. Michael Quinney. Being escorted into the ring by Anne MacDonald, Vice Chairman of the Crufts Committee.
So we move on to our second group of the night now, the Hound group, being judged by Michael Quinney this year. An expert with many breeds of dog, but including Basenjis in the Hound group, Pugs and Norwegian Bullhounds, I believe.
And Rottweilers too, yes.
Before we see the best of breed winners enter the ring, we have a lap of honour for the imported register. In the past, Crufts qualification has been restricted to only Kennel Club fully recognised breeds. However, this year, Crufts has scheduled...
Now, the first thing we're going to see coming into the group is a lap of honour for our imported register winner.
Whilst the best import register
They're not on the full Kennel Club breed register, so not entitled to compete in the group. But they do get their moment on the green carpet.
And it's the Chudeko de Letna.
This breed, as the name implies, is a native of Sicily, used for hunting rabbits.
So this breed just getting established in the UK, a native of Sicily, a hunting dog. Very tidy lines there.
And similar in a way to a fairer hound in miniature. There are differences, but for a general type, yes.
We're now ready to see the dogs in the Hound group enter the ring, being led in by the Afghan Hound.
So here we have the first of our best of breed winners, the spectacular Afghan Hound.
And now the Basenji.
The Basset Fauve de Bretagne.
The first of the little rough-coated Frenchmen. This is the Basset Fauve de Bretagne.
And the Grand Basset Griffon Vendéenne, one of yours, Jessica.
And the smaller cousin, the Petit Basset Griffon Vendéenne.
And the Basset Hound, the one we see most of.
A big round of applause for the Beagle.
And the Bloodhound.
And the Borzoi. And the first of our Dachshunds, the Longhead.
One of the giants, this, the Borzoi.
And then the standard long-haired Dachshund.
And the miniature version, the miniature long-haired Dachshund.
The standard smooth.
And the miniature smooth-haired Dachshund.
And the little mini smooth.
The wire-haired Dachshund.
Time for the wire coat. Here's the standard wire-haired
And
Dachshund.
the miniature wire-haired Dachshund. And now it's
And the little mini wire.
the Deerhound.
The elegance of the Deerhound now.
The Finnish Spitz.
And the russet little Finnish Spitz.
The Foxhound.
Workmanlike Foxhound.
The Greyhound.
The Greyhound, instantly recognisable.
The Hamilton Stövare, the Swedish Foxhound.
And the Abethan Hound.
The Irish Wolfhound.
There, the power of the Irish Wolfhound.
Elkhound.
The Norwegian Elkhound.
And the Otterhound.
The Pharaoh Hound.
And the Portuguese Podengo.
The Rhodesian Ridgeback.
The Rhodesian Ridgeback.
Saluki comes next, very keen to get in there.
Finally, the Whippet.
There's the Sloogie.
And finally the Whippet.
That completes all the dogs in this group. So I will now hand over to my colleague, Graham for further commentary.
Thank you, Keith.
And there's Michael Quinney taking a look at the best of breeds that have been sent to him in this massive group.
We'll now come to the second group to be judged on this, the second day of Crufts. The Hound group.
It's taking the stewards a little bit of time to get everybody organised.
Before we know our 7 finalists to take part in the best in show judging here on Sunday evening.
The grace and elegance of the Afghan at the head of the line there.
Judged tomorrow and Gundog breeds on Sunday.
Very alert-looking Basenji.
And there's the 3 French rough-coated hounds, the Fauve, the Grand Basset and the Petit Basset.
Now to be judged again by group judge Michael
And the tan and white Basset and a tricolour Beagle.
His opinion is the best of all.
There's the little Fauve.
The overall winner.
My breed, the Grand Basset. Oh, a little unsettled there.
In the 7 group winners taking part in the best in show judging.
The Petit Basset, by contrast, standing like a rock.
Crufts Dog Show 2014.
The Beagle.
The Hound group is made up of some of the oldest of the dog breeds.
Massive lines of the Bloodhound and the Borzoi.
And the long and low, the Dachshund family now.
6 of them.
2
Standards and
varieties of each
miniatures.
coat.
We have side hounds,
Little red miniature smooth.
identifying their quarry from great distances with their clean
Very impressive looking wire.
speeding off to run down their quarry through speed and
And there's the mini wire.
If you look around the ring, you can recognise the sight hounds. They are the breeds
Curving
of
lines of the Deerhound.
and have the athletic look, and being capable of running at great speed.
Typical Finnish spits barking. They never do anything else, do they? Foxhound's a little wary. It's the camera.
Oh,
Basically think it's a predatory
absolute
eye.
elegance and flowing lines in the Greyhound,
Oh, that's a picture, the outline of the Hamilton Stovara there.
gleaming with condition.
The Beathen Hound, snacking.
Heavier lines, having heavier bones, stronger legs,
Massive, massive Irish Wolfhound.
open nostrils,
Curving lines.
just to allow for a big intake of breath to identify and follow the
Happy face of the Elk Hound.
Workman-like Otterhound there with that coat.
subgroup of dogs within the Hound group, which in actual
Grace and elegance of the Pharaoh.
scent hound in the
And the little Pedengo by contrast.
hounds ensure sporting dogs follow their quarry to ground.
The Rhodesian Ridgeback come from over 250 here today.
Michael Quinney has
Grace and elegance personified, the Saluki, and there's the Slugi.
position where his first hound breed is waiting, and that's the
And finishing up the line, the Whippet.
Yes, and the Afghan Hound is so popular at shows and in other walks of life that it needed 2 judges here today. Chris Alhu judged the dogs and Mrs. Mary...
So here's the first of our hounds. This is the Afghan Hound, a bitch, 4 years old, named Rachel. Comes from the USA, handled by Anna Stromberg in the ring, bred by Christine Pinkston.
First seen in the 1800s, brought back by soldiers.
Such a beautiful head and neck.
And look at the elegance of neck and outline. The distant expression, it's far-reaching expression.
glamorous appearance, praised.
Big winner in the United States, specialty show winner, and won many groups at championship shows, and a big best in show winner in America. This is Anna Stromberg handling, born into the breed, dedicated handler.
Afghan Hound, the bitch 7868.
And this Afghan literally floating round the ring just as they should. Perfect little ringtail.
And a light lifting carriage, light lifting movement.
From that entry, she selected this bitch, number 7954, as her best of breed.
Furrowed brow of the Basenji between those lovely ears. This is Priscilla, 3 years old, owned by Trish Hallam and Dee Hardy. Trish handling in the ring, and bred with Sue Kite and Jeff Gillespie as well.
Yes. And again, we want the swinging stride of the Basenji, and typified by that tightly curled tail. It'll shake before we get going. It's said that they should look like miniature gazelles in that elegance and shape.
And these are such clever breeders. They have produced Basenji after Basenji at this level, doing so well. Such beautiful type.
That lovely tight curled tail there, very typical.
The Basenji Best of Breed winner, 7954.
Swinging stride, the standard calls for, and here we see it.
Miss Karina Lucas, who chose the dog.
This is 8-year-old Uno, so a Basset Fauve de Bretagne winning from the veteran class, or certainly a veteran in age. It's come from Sweden, belongs to Elizabeth Stromberg and handled by her in the ring, I think, and bred by Mrs. Turton.
It is one of the smallest of the French hounds,
And
in the past was rarely seen.
yes, and this is the colour which distinguishes this breed, just this variety of the Basset family, but workman-like, striding out well, medium length of back, well let down in the chest, but good ground clearance.
Beautiful dog, bred in this country, exported to Sweden, coming back to compete.
And that's
It's the best of breed, Basset Fauve de Breton, number 8012.
and just setting up the dog just to show it off at its best.
Now Mr. Quinney moves on to the Grand Basset.
Lovely expression there.
Mr. Kevin Robertson is the breed judge.
This is Fergus, a Grand Basset Griffon Vendien, just 2 years old, bred by Fiona Buchanan and Michael McLaren, Mike handling in the ring. They come from Scotland.
This male is his best of breed.
Characteristic head there with those long turning ears, beautiful long foreface.
And there's a nobility about the head, isn't there, Jessica?
There should be indeed.
By a French breed of Alpine.
And I'm right in saying, Jessica, this is the longest of the varieties of Basset.
Should be slightly longer than it is tall, but balanced, always balanced.
And
Rough coat, no exaggeration.
They enjoy working and will do so alone or in a pack. The Basset Vendée
And there's those curling, turning ears swinging in the breeze there. There should be good extension in front, nice deep chest.
And this tail carriage, Jessica?
Maybe should be a little higher, like a sabre.
number 8069, the bitch, from an entry of 91 dogs, 96 entries.
And here we have the Petit Basset Griffon Vendien, smaller cousin.
Coat, long and rough,
This one's Irma, 2 years old, belongs to Irina Antipana, Phil Freer and Marita Rogers, handled by Marita in the ring. Third CC today, so made up to a champion.
And the Petit is more moderate in everything. Moderate length of back, not as long in the head or in the ears, Jessica. Am I right in that?
You are, and they should have that lovely little short tail. This one was bred in Poland, imported to this country, and has done very well for owners and handlers.
Number 8069.
And handler Marita Gibbs has been best in show at Crufts with a standard poodle and an Afghan.
Cheeky little petit face.
The Basset Hound. There was a breed entry of 121 made by.
This is the Basset Hound, of course. This is Nana, 17 months old, has come from Italy to compete, owned by Antonella Bonasca, bred by Secchi Elviris Teresa.
It's a very old breed and is typified by its
This one a tan and white. Judge picking up the feet there, feeling the skin.
A handful of skin.
Well, they should be exaggerated in the skin. That's one of the things the breeders are getting away from, exaggeration. Strong bone and big, strong feet there.
Club was formed in 1883. Queen Alexandra, wife of Edward VII, was a regular exhibitor, and in 1909
And striding out well. They should have some substance, but they still have to be athletic and stride out cleanly.
Winning a first CC at Crufts today for this bitch.
the dog was called Bibbles. The Basset Hound Best of Breed winner, 8244.
There's a lot of loose flying skin there. Beautiful ears.
Liz Calix judged the
Yeah, it's just a lot of substance in that one.
222, making 270.
The neat lines of the Beagle. This one's 2-year-old Tina, owned by David Craig, who's handling in the ring. They come from Darlington, 6 CCs so far.
Still kept for hunting.
Beautiful balance. All we want is a balanced, unexaggerated hound with a soft head and expression.
The breed is sturdy, bold and active. It is also very independent with a strong tendency to wander when distracted by an interesting scent.
They should stride out purposefully and economically with this long, clean stride.
I was with 6 of them earlier today in Discover Dogs, 3 couple, because of course they hunt in packs.
Its affection
holding a very level top line. There we see the softness of expression of the breed.
8319. Now we move on.
Lovely moving on the lead, Jessica, but if you want to let them off in the park, it'll be a long time before they come back.
Breed was judged today by Mr. Jeff Horswell, and he selected this male for best.
Unmistakable, this, the Bloodhound. This is far lap guesswork. George,
504.
bred by Sam Sutcliffe.
The country of origin of the bloodhound.
They've come all the way from Russia to compete, though, for owner Maria Dorosinka.
As early as the 1060s.
So again, another one who was bred here, exported, and has come back to compete at Crufts.
And very good eyes and expression there. Tight eye rims.
These were the ancestors of today's bloodhounds.
George says, no, I don't want to do this.
Now, the movement of the Bloodhound, it says elastic. They have to be clean striding, but there's a power and elasticity about them.
Even days later, over great distances,
Very free moving in profile.
across water, an extraordinary keen sense of smell, and a tenacious tracking instinct. This is the Bloodhound, best of breed winner, 8504.
A massive dog, but one that should still be able to do a job of work.
And it said that the long ears encase the scent when they have their head down. They're scent hounds, they get their heads down to take in the scent. Cold scent dogs, yes.
And this is the best of breed, the dog, 8550. Over to you, Graham. I know
The
it was-
long legs of the 3-year-old Borzoi. This is Anton, owned by Jean Clare, who also bred the dog and is handling in the ring. They come from Ongar in Essex.
Distinctive top line, this rise over the loin, you know, fit for function. You know, the breed standards give the breed the features they need to fulfill their function. This strong loin, arched, gives it propulsion and galloping power. The long legs allow it to cover the ground.
And of course, the Borzoi was the Russian wolfhound, so this was a dog that had to go up against a serious adversary.
The wolfhound of the aristocracy, yes.
And Anton isn't just a pretty face, he enjoys his lure coursing too, so a dog that works as well as comes into the show
You
ring.
see beautiful veining and cleanness in the muzzle there, and lovely eye and expression.
Breed entry of 99.
Now, the first of our Dachshunds, this, the standard long-haired Dachshund, champion Bronya Lothario. Logan, he's 4 years old, owned by Emily Mitchell, who also bred the dog and is handling in the ring today. They come from Tyne and Weir. This dog has 21 challenge certificates.
And viewers should know that it only takes 3 to become a champion, so he's had a lot of winning.
Translates from German into badger dog, and this may have been their original purpose.
In their native Germany, they're known as Teckels, which means badger dogs. And they have to, apart from going to ground, they also have to do the tracking as well. So that although they're low to ground, they still have to have ground clearance and mobility.
And after the winter we've had, I must admit, I wouldn't like to have to try and keep one of these Dachshunds clean.
Wagging his tail happily there.
And now for the
And free striding, even though the dog's low to the ground, there's a bone and substance there, isn't there?
And we see the lovely level top line, long but without exaggeration.
number 8826, and it's a dog.
Now, the miniature version, this is the mini long-haired Dachshund. This is Hendrix, 6.5 years old, belongs to Penny and Dave Young. Penny's handling in the ring, and they bred the dog as well. Willow Heath Hendrix.
All of the Dachshunds share the same standard. It's just the size and the coat which differentiates them. And here the miniature, it would be the ideal if they weighed less than 5 kilograms. At some shows they're weighed, but it's not compulsory. The challenge is to get all the Dachshund features scaled down in miniature.
Is a happy, bold and alert dog. Despite its small size, is strong, active, hardy and very gay. It's our best of breed miniature long-haired Dachshund, number 8826.
And there's Hendrix, little front legs extending very well for such a tiny person.
Conically shaped head, almond-shaped eyes, which are dark.
And a very serious
And
expression.
very proud in the head carriage too.
Being first and
The standard smooth Dachshund now. This is Evie, 2 years old, owned by Dawn Seago and Scott Gibbard, and also bred by them. Dawn's handling in the ring. They come from Norfolk.
Intelligence make this breed an ideal companion. Long-bodied, short-legged.
They should have a degree of elegance in their carriage, workmanlike but elegant with their head carriage. Well developed in the fore-chest for heart and lung room.
And even though the standards may be the same and it's just the size and coat that differs, there is quite a difference in type between the varieties, isn't there?
Yes, we can get it, but you know, and temperament. The temperament varies from coat in the coat sizes, in the coat and size too. This one very bold, very.
And now the smooth-haired miniature. The breed judged by
That's almost a different expression, isn't it? Yes, I'm here and I'm doing what you've asked me to do, but I'm not really that bothered.
Very composed.
106, making 168 entries.
Now the mini smooth Dachshund. This is April, 4 years old, little mini smooth, owned by Sue Urgis and Marjorie Child Thomas, handled by Sue in the ring, and Sue, of course, bred the dog. Her Sue line affix, very famous for her mini Dachshunds.
Clear red, raring to go too.
And this might be the smallest person in the ring tonight, but it's not the smallest personality.
And we see the power in those hindquarters. The underline slightly cutting up, which is correct for the breed.
And the last of the three versions, as far as the coat's concerned, is the wire-haired Dachshund. As you see here, just the coat.
Now the standard wire-haired Dachshund now. This is Matisse, 6.5 years old. They've come from Denmark to compete today. Belongs to Camilla Hube, who's handling in the ring. Bred by Carlos Pedroso and Patricia Romanelli.
Yes, comes from a famous kennel and looks very impressive here. This dog has been best in show 5 times at international shows in Europe, which is a great thing for a Dachshund to take the top awards. The harsh, wiry top coat and an undercoat. This is lovely proportions and balance. I like this very much. Lovely proportions. And you can see the crispness of coat, you know, just by looking.
Wire-haired Dachshund, 9082.
Gorgeous, gorgeous in quality. You can just see it there coming towards you.
And don't you think the eyebrows and little beard give them great character?
119 dogs, 133 entries. She chose the dog as best of breed.
Now the miniature wire-haired Dachshund. This is 4-year-old Sam. Belongs to Bernd Kugnau and Susan Holt. They also bred the dog.
Same coat and look as the larger standard wire.
4 years old and winning his first CC today. What a place to win it. He's been runner-up for it several times, but took the big award today, so the owners will be very pleased.
The Dachshund being derived from the words Dax, which means badger, and Hund, dog.
Looks very hard condition, a real working dog. Looks very much a working type.
9193. And now for something that's slightly longer.
In the native Germany, they still have tracking trials before they can get their championship.
By Marion Nixon. And this dog, number 9290.
The Deerhound. This is 3-year-old Gus. He's come from Bolton to compete. Belongs to Derek Hawkins, who also bred and handles the dog. Second CC today with 3 reserves, so working his way towards champion.
As shooting became more popular, they became less necessary. But
The elegance of that neck and head carriage, beautiful soft expression.
An expression looking out into the distance is wonderful.
They call them gaze hounds, don't they?
You know, for a tall dog, they're very light and elegant on their feet. Rather like a rough-haired greyhound in shape. We see that arch over the loin. Should be a hound of curving lines.
Might be a working hound, but my parents had these for years, and I tell you what, we all sat on the floor. We never got a place on the sofa.
There's a breed entry of 43, made by 42 Finney Splits, and best of breed was 9.
Now, what a complete contrast. This is the Finnish Spitz with that russet red coat and the little Spitz tail. This is Pimu, 8 years old, another one winning from Veteran. Belongs to Rob and Hannah Thompson and Angela Cavill. Bred, of course, by Dave and Angela Cavill, whose Tovari affix is very famous in this country.
And we saw her barking earlier. That's part of the breed character, because when they were out hunting, when they saw the game and birds, they had to bark to attract the hunters. So a breed feature. If you like a quiet life, the Finnish Spitz is not the breed for you. But that lovely glowing colour in coat, which is again a prized feature.
Very traditional breed from the 1700s.
From those lovely tightly padded feet up long strong legs, this is Chairman, 4-year-old foxhound, owned by Rosemary Griffiths, bred by Anne Hartley from Staffordshire.
Now, I see his full name is North Staffordshire Chairman, which means he's come from a pack. He's a pack hound which has come into the show ring. He's not really settled with it, however. The tail carriage tells us that. Only 6 foxhounds here today. They're just relatively new in recent years in the show ring.
This is our best of breed foxhound, number 9384.
All power, but as you say, you can see in his expression too, a little wary of his surroundings. He'd rather be out chasing foxes across a field, or rather chasing a scent
Yes.
lure these days.
The breed judge selected this bitch, number 9431, as his best of breed.
Another set of beautiful long legs, a deep chest, and that wonderful neck and head. This is a greyhound. This is Annie, 4 years old, come from Italy to compete.
Important speed merchant, and is the prototype of the so-called sight hound.
Beautiful lines. Look at this snake-like head, clean, long neck.
People have always said about these, head like a snake, neck like a drake.
And you can almost see everything in the greyhound without putting your hands on, with the clean angulation of the shoulders.
Best of breed winner at this year's Crufts, 9431.
You're right, there's nothing you could hide there, is there?
The Hamilton Stuber.
And we could
This Swedish breed was another breed judged by Gavin Robertson, and his best of breed winner was number...
When these came into the ring, I thought the outline of this dog was absolutely superb. The Hamilton Stovara, this is Trinity, 2.5 years old, belongs to Jamie and Sue Bryant, who also bred the dog. They've come from Cumbria.
absolutely workmanlike hound, the Swedish foxhound, characterized by this rich tricolour, black tan with some white markings. The tail carriage should not come above the level of the back.
Also was the founder of the Swedish Kennel Club.
They have to be functional.
First shown in 1886. This is our best of breed Hamilton Stuber, number 9464. Now we move on
Such
to the
clean
individual
lines
hound.
on this breed.
This is Carla Molinari from Portugal was the breed judge today. It was a breed entry of 29. And from that entry, Mrs. Molinari selected this male, number 94.
If you're going to hunt by sight, if you're going to gaze, you need long legs. This is the Abethan Hound, Rafa, 16 months old, a young one, owned by Lizzie Egan, handled in the ring by Jill Morris, and of course Lizzie bred the dog too. They come from Wales.
Those large ears are characteristic of the breed. This is a breed which needs not a lot of angulation in the shoulder. The brisket is above the elbow, and that straighter angulation gives it a hovering gait, a slight hover before it puts its foot down.
The Abethan Hound, 9489. The Irish Wolfhound.
It's an Abethan Hound in first gear, that is.
The tallest in this group, and today the breed were judged by Mrs. G.
This is 3-year-old James, an Irish Wolfhound. This one's come from Belgium to compete at Crufts.
Number 9558, chosen from an entry of 140.
34 challenge certificates or their equivalent around Europe. This is a big winning dog from the continent coming to compete and has won through. What a gorgeous expression.
Lovely strength in the head, this neatly folded back ears.
For almost 2,000 years.
reputed to be the tallest breed of dog, Jessica, and with a lot of substance to it.
And of course, as a breeder, it's difficult to produce that size and substance and maintain balance.
And again, strong bone. There have to be a dog of curving lines. There should be no straight lines, and we see that curve and arch over the loin, drop down to the tail, and a lovely curve to the back leg.
That's the best of breed Irish Wolfhound, 9558.
And to get grace in something of that substance and size is a real achievement.
And for Norwegian Elkhound. And you see that best of breed. This one is a bitch.
The Norwegian Elkhound. This is Nell, 14 months old, so a real youngster, barely out of the puppy class, owned by Jill Cooper, who also bred the dog and is handling in the ring. They come from Evesham in Worcestershire, so only just down the road.
The Norwegian Elkhound, it should not be too heavily built, good length of leg, Spitz-like in its head shape. That's a wedge-shaped head, sharply pricked ears, and this tail carried over the back, and a thick, weatherproof double coat.
1877. The best of breed Norwegian Elkhound, 9655. The Otter.
The Norwegian Elkhound.
This is Amanda Ansell as the judge for Otter Hounds. These attractive dogs are not to be found in great numbers.
Now, here we go to the Otter Hound. This one is a multi-champion. Hugo's 8 years old now. Belongs to Ray Garner. Was bred by Ray as well, who's handling in the ring. They come from Hillingdon.
The history of otter hunting can be traced back.
And again, it's a breed which should have a majestic head and those long folding ears, slightly curving inwardly. Weatherproof coat. Rather an oily coat, Jessica, so they're sometimes a bit odorous, what shall we say, yes. But they're one wonderful breed. At one stage, I thought they would go into extinction with the banning of otter hunting, but a few specialists have kept them going.
And now, the best of breed winning Pharaoh Hound, number 9749, the dog, chosen by Mrs. Carla.
You can really imagine a dog of this grace and elegance standing at the base of the pyramids in Egypt. This is a Pharaoh Hound. This is Kiwi, 5 years old, owned by Jenny Hall, bred by Anna Larsson and Tanya Sadheim. They've come from Sweden to compete. And of course the handler instantly recognisable. We've seen her in the group many times.
Yes, and she has won the Hound group here before with one of her Pharaohs. The easily distinguished outline and silhouette of the dog with those sharply pricked ears.
A racy mover. She's having trouble keeping up with that one.
Best breed Pharaoh Hound, 9749.
Using those ears, paying attention to everything she's saying. Can I get away with it? I'm just going to stride out a little bit more.
One of the comparatively newer breeds at Crufts, but very popular. Judged today.
This is Peanut, a little Portuguese Podengo, 3 years old, and a Dutch champion, owned by Diana Curtis, bred by Eileen Siegert.
And the little Warren Hound of Portugal here, the rough-coated, hard-coated. They also come in the smooth, shorter coat. Absolutely workmanlike.
And a very tidy little specimen of the breed, this one.
You're very popular in Portugal, both as family pets, but also for working. They're really good hunters.
Well, it says here that little Peanut likes to chase a lure if given the chance.
Yes, I'm sure.
Since coming to Britain in 2002. That's our best of breed Portuguese Podengo.
Such a cheeky little face on the Portuguese Podengo, working those ears.
Very alert.
Rhodesian Ridgeback. This is Zena Thorne Andrews, just the breed judge today. There was a breed entry of 250 made by 200.
This is the Rhodesian Ridgeback, a dog originally used for hunting lions, so a fearsome character. This is Dukey, 2 years old, owned by Karen Lynn, bred by Carla Coppens, handled by Karen in the ring. They've come from Walsall in the West Midlands.
Assisting game hunters in the pursuit of their quarry, which often included lion. Breed standard was drawn up in South Africa.
Now his name tells us where he originated, and also tells us one of his chief features, the ridge of hair which runs along his back with two little crowns of hair over the withers. They were bred to track lions and hold them at bay till the hunters came. Strong and athletic. You see the ridge there running along the back?
Number 9963. The Saluki. This is Elaine Stanmore, had the pleasure of handling 140 dogs.
The Saluki, this is Dexter, a 3-year-old dog who belongs to Jeanette and Alan Glaister and Mary Parker, bred by Mary Parker, and Jeanette's handling in the ring. They come from Carlisle.
Well, the Saluki has been called the oldest race of hunting dog in the world. It's been known
Very
as
elegant,
Poland since
excellent head and expression. This light gait. Again, another sight hound, so these long legs and made to gallop.
After gazelles originally, weren't they? So they had to be swift.
Dogs had a very successful year last year, winning the Hound Group at the LKA and at Manchester early this year.
Such an elegant expression.
This was another breed judged today by Mr. Jeff Horswell. He selected this male for his best of breed from
This is the Slugie. And you mustn't worry about the ribs showing. These dogs are supposed to be spare. It's the way they're designed and built. You can't put too much weight on a Slugie. It's impossible. This one's come from France to compete.
Again, thought they originate in North Africa. I went to the Saluki breeding centre outside Dubai, where they also had Slugies, and they claim that the DNA would be very similar, but there are differences in the phenotype, in their appearance. A little different in the head, and especially over the croup.
The highest entry in the Hound group, the most popular of all the hounds, is the Whippet.
Now the last of our hounds, the instantly recognisable Whippet, one of the most popular in this group. This is Troy, 4 years old. Belongs to Jane Wilton Clark, who also bred the dog. We saw Jane winning in the, I think it was the Junior Warrant Ring yesterday, so she's as a youngster has done really well.
And he's topped an entry of 417 Whippets today. 2 judges, one for the dogs, one for the bitches.
So a tremendous achievement to win.
We want a smooth, daisy-cutting action. There should be very little lift of the front legs. They should cover the ground smoothly and hold their athletic lines. Again, that muscular arch over the loin.
Especially in the north of England. The Whippet is a highly adaptable breed, being quite at home with both domestic and sporting surroundings.
And Whippets, such popular pets, because although they are swift hounds and they will chase, they're such lovely characters at home.
Gentle, love their comfort too.
Having completed his individual examination of each of our Hound best breeds, just another look along the line. Just to remind you also, there's an overall entry of 3,000.
Now, Jessica, who will Michael choose here in the to shortlist the Hound group? We've got a good selection, varied shapes and sizes, and he'll have to think hard to get his down to 8.
218 from all the 190 breeds in competition here at Crufts.
Now the very exciting bit, isn't it, when the judge makes their final selection from which to choose their actual winners to give us our 4th group winner for Crufts 2014.
Right, just stepping in to remind himself of what he found on the dog on close hands-on examination.
It is possible to see any of the 200
And the Hound group's a large group,
in the Discover Dogs area.
a lot of quality in there.
Before Mr. Quinn
Statuesque Abethan hounds, the Hamilton Stavara that looked so nice standing.
Very alert Finnish spits. Curving lines of the Deerhound.
Michael Quinney walking around, just reminding himself of, right, now what did I like? The Borzoi, Bloodhound, a little group of French rough-coated hounds there.
Shortlist.
In comes the Petit Basset and the Beagle. the standard long dachshund.
The miniature smooth head dachshund.
And the miniature smooth comes out. And a long walk to the Irish Wolfhound.
I thought that Irish Wolfhound looked absolutely superb.
The Rhodesian Ridgebacks called forward, and the Saluki, and the Whippet. So there is the shortlist in the Hound group for Michael Quinney.
So he's been quite economic with his choices, hasn't
Absolutely,
he?
yes. Wasted no time getting his shortlist out.
So now we'll see that shortlist move again.
And as I'm sure all the other groups, Mr. Quinney will move these once more before he makes the selection of our Hound group winners.
And do give them your support, ladies and gentlemen, when they make this last move in this last section of the Hound group.
So, of course, it was a Petit Basset Griffon Vendéen that won Best in Show last year. Here in the Hound group, we now have Irma, bred in Poland, campaigned here in the UK, the little Petit Basset, with Marita at the helm. Such a capable handler.
She won't be feeling any nerves, I'm sure.
Oh, I don't know. The Beagle, this is Tina.
Again, free of exaggeration. Just putting the brakes on a little bit there, I think.
And of course, performance is so important at this level. Logan, the long-haired dachshund. Emily Mitchell with her mother Fran, such an experienced team with this breed.
He's won a couple of Hound groups in the past, so experienced and a big winner.
Wagging his tail all the way. Sue Urgis with her little miniature smooth April.
Very busy in her action.
This is Victor, 8924.
Now here goes James again, that glorious Irish Wolfhound all the way from Belgium.
Beautiful clean action, getting the hocks well underneath it and lovely in front too.
I like that Wolfhound, that's gorgeous.
Next to go is the Rhodesian Ridgeback.
Dukey, the Rhodesian Ridgeback.
Strong, handsome dog. Good top line and just falling off to the tail set, which is correct for the breed.
And now it's the turn of the Saluki.
Grace and elegance of the Saluki.
Now,
Dexter.
light action. I'd just like him to go a little more slowly, keep him together here. There, he's settling now.
And the last of our shortlist to do is the Whippet.
And Troy champions Shalfleet Simply a Lord, the Whippet. So who's your tip in that lineup, Frank?
Well, I've got an affection for the Saluki, but I did like the look of the Irish Wolfhound. And the standard long dachshund went very well, I thought.
Now you're hedging your bets. That's 3.
Each way bet. It's Cheltenham next week, isn't it? Yes.
Michael Quinney taking a look at that really super lineup there.
Details make the difference here.
He's given it to the Rhodesian Ridgeback. Or
Oh, no, he's just asking the handler to stand with it as opposed to kneel. Yes.
Goodness me. It's the Irish Wolfhound.
Irish Wolfhound, very impressive on the move. All the way from Netherlands, a big winner there. Standard long hair in second place. There.
Rhodesians in third place. Thank you, Michael Quinney, for giving me a heart attack.
And the handler, perhaps, yes. And also the Whippet in fourth. She's had a very good show, hasn't she, Mr. Wilton Clark? Yes.
Oh, but this glorious Irish Wolfhound, just in time of First Avenue, 3-year-old James. They've come from Belgium to compete. He blew us all away. What a beautiful animal. Takes the Hound group for Crufts 2014. A graceful giant of a dog.
Secretary of Windsor Championship Show.
So we have our 4 finalists for...
And here's the trophy coming in.
Irene Terry, past secretary of Windsor Championship Show and a Basenji breeder herself, handing out the trophy just in time.
And a rosette befitting the size of the dog, methinks. So there we go, there's the long-haired, standard long-haired Dachshund taking second in the group, the Rhodesian Ridgeback in third place, and Janet Wilton-Clark and her beautiful Whippet in Group 4.
It's our 4th group winner there, Jessica, for Sunday evening.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together.
So a lap of honour now for James, that glorious free-moving Irish Wolfhound who takes the Hound group for 2014 here at Crufts.
We hope you'll be with us tomorrow and Sunday. Meanwhile, travel home safely.